What's up and welcome back. I'm John Stark from MacTheMovieGuy.com, your favorite blind film critic, and today I'm here to talk about HitPig. Just debuted on Peacock. It's an animated movie, and it does not have audio description, but we're going to talk about it anyway, because this is the method that Peacock has decided that people can enjoy it in. And before we do it, I'm going to ask you to like and subscribe. I'm a blind film critic, and I talk largely about audio description and accessibility, which seems important nowadays. For some reason, while words like inclusivity are being tagged as being bad words to use, let's do the opposite, and let's go back and include and get that accessibility in there, because HitPig doesn't have it. So for the second straight week in a row, Peacock has dropped a movie as their big movie of the week that doesn't have audio description. That's, I don't know, not technically a Universal movie. I don't know what these movies are. Last week was Edie Falco's movie that had been gestating forever, and now it's Jason Sudeikis' animated comedy, which comes from, I believe, a British animation studio, and it's based on source material, so it's like an adaptation, but obviously one that it's not super popular, otherwise it would have gone to theaters, like Wild Robot. It does have a decent voice cast too, beyond Jason. It's got Lily Singh, it's got some interestingly hilarious choices like Flava Flav in here. Andy Serkis, RuPaul. So, I mean, there's some choices being made. I don't remember everybody, but it's not that memorable of a movie. It's a movie that's like, how much do you love Jason Sudeikis and what Jason Sudeikis normally does? Because this movie feels like it's centered around him and his brand of humor, his style of humor, a lot of one-liners, a lot of puns, jokes, and the plot is that HitPig used to be the sidekick to another bounty hunter, and that bounty hunter, well, you'll find out early in the movie. So now HitPig is out on his own, and HitPig gets hired to do things, and eventually gets hired by the villain of the story, who's ridiculous altogether, just in existence, to find this lost elephant that didn't really get lost. She just kind of escaped. So it's one of those things where anthropomorphic animals talk, but like also, I guess, humans do too. And I don't know. It's very one note. Like, it's really hard to follow. And the problem with the lack of audio description is you don't always know what's an animal, what's human, which animal is this. Sometimes they identify themselves, sometimes they don't. There's no visual design. I have no idea what the animation looks like. The animation could be awful, could be beautiful, could be anything. I have no idea. There's nothing here to give me any sort of indication, so it just kind of sounds like Jason Sudeikis riffing for a while, and some people coming in and out for him to riff around. That's basically what this is, if you're blind. The story isn't uniquely interesting, but his jokes are, again, based on how much you like Jason Sudeikis, you'll like this movie. I don't think anybody's ever going to love this movie. I don't think this is a loved animated movie, but I think there are people who will be able to sit through it more. A, if they're sighted, and B, if they're huge Jason Sudeikis fans. The bigger Jason Sudeikis fan that you are, the more you'll be able to tolerate this movie. I like him, and I like a couple of the one-liners I thought were funny. Like, I thought every once in a while he'd throw in something and kind of made me laugh. For example, the way that his bounty hunter sort of exits, I thought was kind of funny. Kind of morbid for a kid's movie, but kind of funny at the same time. So because of that, I'm not gonna say the movie is completely void of entertainment value, but it did feel like the kind of thing for me that if I had had audio description on it, it felt like a subpar animation that wasn't gonna end up getting that fresh score for me. It reminded me of a movie whose name I can't even remember, but there was a movie on Hulu that I watched a few years back that was like semi-competent. It wasn't just like absolute hot ass garbage, and it didn't have audio description, and it wasn't like the worst thing I had seen, but it also definitely was far from being great. And something there was like a magician and some firefighters. I think I remember I think it was based around like a female firefighter that was like leading the story. Anyway, that movie is what this reminded me of. It didn't remind me of anything great. It wasn't like, oh my God, this reminds me of Wall-E, or oh my God, this reminds me of The Lion King. No. No, it reminded me of this one random movie that I saw on Hulu without audio description like 3 years ago. So, which I can't even remember the name of, so obviously it made a huge impact on my life. So, yeah, that's it big for you. Uh, I, go into this only if you're a fan of Jason, I would say. If not, then I don't really know, man. This feels like the kind of thing that missed theaters for a reason. It feels like the kind of thing that Peacock is putting out there just because. Kind of like last week, Edie Falco's thing felt the same way. I was like, what is this and why does this exist? It just feels like a story that's been told before. HitPig doesn't feel like it's anything necessarily interesting or innovative or has any spark to it. It's just Jason Sudekis got a paycheck and he showed up. I mean, arguably, I'm not going to tell this dude he did not show up because he's doing what his usual thing is. So I'm going to give HitPig officially the grade of unwatchable due to lack of audio description, because there's a whole lot of stuff that you're missing as a blind person. But I would probably guess probably like a C- is where this would go. I think actually I enjoyed this more than Megamind versus the Doom Syndicate, which is what Peacock had around this time last year. So I did enjoy it more than that, but moved fairly quickly. It's not very long. So yeah, thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. Inclusivity is not a bad word, and I'll see you guys on the other side.